We're here today with PJ Diatri, who's playing his Kiesel guitars, customized Jason Becker signature guitar. PJ, what do you have in the works right now? Is anything coming up that you'd like people to know about?
Yeah, I got 2 albums coming up. Next year I'm gonna put out a duets album, strictly duets, each song featuring another great player. And so far I've recorded with Jennifer Batten and Carl Verheyen and Timo Sommers and Andrew J, Josh Kraft, Justin DeFries, you know, friends and role models and players I look up to, you know, great players. And I composed songs and they were friendly enough to play on them with me, making it a great duet. And so this album is going to be strictly consisting of duets, and it's going to be called Speed Issues. And will come out in about a year, so like next summer 2017 or autumn 2017. Before that, there will be another album featuring this guitar for the first time, a guitar with a Floyd Rose, and I can't wait to see what a Floyd Rose does to me and my style. And it'll be called Return of the Living Shred, and it will come out in, I guess, early 2017, so like either Christmas or January 2017. And it'll be strictly instrumental, and will be very heavy. You know, I love heavy guitar music. And yeah, that's the plan, you know. So I got the 3 albums so far, my 2 instrumental rock guitar albums, the Bach album, and there's supposed to be following 2 more. And then we'll see where I'm gonna go, you know. That's it so far.
And are you playing any live shows?
Yes, in fact I'm playing a lot of live shows recently. I'm playing a lot of Bach live, you know. I got this project called Bachiana with my friend Kurt Gold, and he is a virtuoso on our accordion, harpsichord and piano, and we have arranged pieces of Johann Sebastian Bach for duets, you know, and we're trying to come up with like 120 minutes shows, like a set that is like a decent evening entertainment show. And we're playing a lot in Austria. Actually, we're playing in castles and in old town halls and festival, classic music festivals, and so that's where you can find me play live. I also have a solo band, Thousands of Death, with which I play my own stuff, like the instrumental guitar rock music of my first 2 solo albums, and we're playing here and there and everywhere, and trying to, you know, play festivals and little gigs, just nothing really. The cat. Anyway, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got Thousands of Death is my solo band. They're supporting my solo instrumental guitar music, and we're gonna play that live. And we have played a few shows so far, and we're gonna play, you know, whenever you want to see if there's a show coming up, you should look up my Facebook page, and because there you find all the infos on the live shows. But I'm trying to play live as much as possible, you know, with the Bach stuff and the solo stuff. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time today, PJ Diatri. Best wishes to you from America. So I know you had mentioned Slash was one of your influences. Did you have any others?
Yeah, I mean, right after Slash, I checked out Ozzy Osbourne, and so Randy Rhoads came up. He was very big in my world, and he still is. He's my favorite guitar player next to Jason Becker. So Randy and Jason. Randy Rhoads, very big, and then I discovered Whitesnake with John Sykes, and I like to think that I am the perfect mixture of Randy Rhoads, John Sykes, and Jason Becker. You know.
That's very arrogant of you, PJ. So you've mentioned Jason Becker. Why don't you tell us a little more? How did Jason Becker influence you, and what kind of impact has his music and story made on your life?
Yeah, finding Jason was very complicated because I found Jason through David Lee Roth's Best Of album, And David Lee Roth, again, I found him through Van Halen, because Van Halen was another big deal in my life, because when I first heard Eruption and the first Van Halen album, it was over, you know. So yeah, I checked out David Lee Roth, his Best Of album, and there are two songs where this guy was playing, Jason Becker, and I was blown away. It was the song It's Showtime and Sensible Shoes, and I loved the soulful playing on these two songs. So there was at that time, I know it's also Steve Hunter, I know, but anyway, at that time there was no YouTube, no Google, nothing. It was the mid-90s and we were poor, and no, we weren't, but anyway. And anyway, so
We're living in a hut without electricity or running water.
And anyway, so through research, I found this Super Guitar Heroes compilation from Shrapnel Records, distributed by Young Guitar Magazine. And there was two songs by Jason Becker, again, Altitudes and Air. And I thought, oh my god, is this the best guitar player ever or not? So I wasn't just impressed, I felt like touched by God, you know, like inspired, heavily inspired. So that's how I came to know Jason Becker, and I bought his albums, Perpetual Burn and the two Cacophony albums, and that was my first contact with his playing, and I was immediately hooked because I love his tone and his vibrato and everything about his dramatic playing style, and got a great sense of how to increase the drama in your soloing. So yeah.
So I've noticed during this interview that you're playing a lot of gypsy jazz. Would you say you have an influence?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Django Reinhardt, and I discovered him when I was about 22, 23 years old, so very late in my playing time, and I was hooked, you know, because that's something totally different. I mean, nobody plays like Django. I mean, who plays like it? I had never heard that. So that was a kind of playing style that was very, very interesting to me. So Django Reinhardt was the second big bang in my life after the rock guitar Slash thing, which brought me to the electric guitar and made me want to learn to play electric guitar with all the players that influenced me from you know, initially Slash, Randy Rhoads and John Sykes and Eddie Van Halen, to the more you know, how would I call that, more sophisticated players like Yngwie and Jason and Marty Friedman and Jason Becker. And but that came to a halt when I discovered Django Reinhardt, which is a very, you know, authentic, natural playing style. No electricity, it's all acoustic, and it's all based on the right hand, which is the total opposite of all the shred music and the rock music. And so yeah, Django Reinhardt really, really changed everything for me, and is still a big influence.
Cool. So I know a lot of current music these days, you see a lot of guitar players are sweep picking, and I've kind of been noticing you don't do a lot of sweep picking.
No, because I've seen Frank Gambale in front of me playing sweep picking using this technique, and in my opinion there are two players who really mastered the sweep picking, Jason Becker and Frank Gambale, because they have the absolute fluid flow, mastered every aspect of this technique to perfection, and they deserve to be the owners of this style, and they should be the only ones playing it, because if you look at what Jason did with sweep picking, it's beyond good or bad, you know. And what Frank Gambale is still doing with his style and everything, I believe that sweep picking is for a certain style, should be reserved for a certain style, the one being fusion and the other one being this neoclassical stuff, and I don't do neither one of them. And so I'm not a big sweep picker. I consider my style to be very basic and very, very simple, actually. I play a very simple guitar, you know.
Show us some of your simple playing.
Well, you know. Very simple. I just play like this. And I don't do any tapping, I don't do sweep picking, I don't do all the fancy 8-finger tapping stuff. I don't do any of that. I just play, you know. I play a little bit of chicken picking, you know, a little bit. And I hardly do, you know. If I sweep, it's like for 3 strings, that's it. 4 maybe. But I don't do the 6-string sweeps like the masters. That's not my cup of tea.
Speaking of cups of tea, what's your favorite tea, PJ?
Earl Grey.
Nice. Do they have that in Switzerland? Or wherever the fuck it is you're from? How old were you when you started playing guitar?
I was 11 and a half pretty much. I remember pretty exactly because it was Christmas '95 and I was 11 and a half years old. And a friend of my dad's gave me a present for Christmas. It was an LP from Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. And that is my Big Bang moment, speaking of music and guitars. Before that I grew up in a very musical family. We listened to a lot of music and everything, but just pop, you know, Beatles and Pink Floyd and Michael Jackson and stuff like that, and Queen. But nothing really that made you want to pick up the guitar in that way. So. And
before you played guitar, did you play any instruments?
Yeah, I played the recorder.
Ah, that's nice.
I played the recorder for 3 years, man. I was really good at that.
I want everyone to notice he held up 5 fingers and said 3.
Yeah.
So let's just put that out there. So who are your first musical influences?
Yeah, my first musical influence as a guitar player, I think, was Slash, because that's my first guitar hero that I came across, you know, my first wow moment. So yeah,
Slash.
Yeah.
And who was your first musical influence on recorder?
I guess Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. Nice. That's nice. So, do you currently still listen to Guns N' Roses? I mean, who are you listening to these days?
No, nothing really. I listen to a lot of Bach and Django Reinhardt and classical stuff, you know. And if I want to get inspired to practice guitar, I listen to Jason Becker and all the Shrapnel label, all the Barney boys who really knew how to play, know how to play. So, but basically I listen to Bach. That's the only music I really listen to. Johann Sebastian Bach.
Excellent. And now that you have told us about that, I'd like to fucking pause. You released several albums. Could you tell us a little about them? I know you just talked about Bach, and I believe currently you've released a Bach album.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about some of the albums you've released.
I released my debut album in 2010. It's called 13 Divertimenti. It's
Bless you.
Italian title. and it was my debut album. It's an instrumental guitar rock album in the style of all the Shrapnel records that I grew up with. You know, the Rasor X, Yngwie Malmsteen, Cacophony, whatever. You know, all the different guitar albums. It's in that style. You know, and it's my debut album. Came out in 2010, and I did another one right after that. It came out in 2012. It's called Zeitgeist Renegade. And yeah, these are my 2 rock guitar, instrumental guitar albums where I explored the genre and my limited possibilities and options on the guitar. And this year, in March, what I would like to think of my life's work came out, the Bach album, with over 65 minutes of Bach music, played on guitar, arranged for guitar, and yeah, that's pretty much my magnum opus so far. And dedicated to my favorite composer, Johann Sebastian Bach.
Excellent. You also have a few albums where you sing, don't you?
Yeah, I sing in Italian on the Empire Galaxy stuff, which is like a fun side project I did. And there are 2 albums out there. One is called Spaghetti Rock Revolution, and the other one is called Giardino Segreto, which means secret garden. And they were fun side projects I did where we explored the genre of pop rock, you know, heavy Whitesnake style, you know, in the style of 80s Bon Jovi, Whitesnake stuff with, I'd like to think, catchy tunes on it, and with me singing and writing in Italian.
Nice.
Yeah.
Enough about that crap. So tell me about this guitar that you're playing here. That's a hell of a fucking guitar.
Yeah, oh my god, look at this guitar. It's a carbon Jason Becker signature. It's a JB200 in Arctic purple and with abalone block inlays.
And did you come up with all of the little bits and pieces and specs on that yourself?
Yeah. It's entirely my design. And thank God Mr. Jeff Kiesel has great ideas concerning color options, because this is his idea of mixing, you know, aged Arctic purple treatment with deep purple in the center, you know. So I'm very happy with this guitar here, and it smells great, which is the reason I got it. Carbon guitars smell the best, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what exactly got you interested in Bach? Thank you for answering that one. So where can we get your music? No, but seriously, what got you interested in Bach?
Usually in school you learn about Bach, you know, in musical education, but I didn't really notice that at school. So when I was about 14 years old, I got a VHS by the legendary Yngwie J. Malmsteen, and in that video where he does a lot of instructional stuff, he explains that he got all his chops from listening to Bach, and I said, I'm gonna try that out, and I did, and I found out that Bach is the ultimate music out there. It's more than just music, it's the perfect harmony in every way, and you can learn so much from him. As a player, whatever your instrument, I highly recommend listening to Bach, because it is the absolute source of the force. And yeah, so actually Yngwie Malmsteen is responsible for hooking me up with Bach, and I listened to a lot of Bach. I got out there and bought all the Glenn Gould records. I'm trying to expand my vocabulary on the guitar by stealing licks, you know, stuff like that. You know, stuff that you wouldn't come up with on your own. So linear lines, all that, harmonies, and different chord shapes and stuff like that. So that's really what made me want to try out and listen to Bach. And ever since, it has become the dominant musical force and my favorite musical style.
Excellent. Because I know this is going to be edited, I'm going to go backwards now and ask you a question about, did you ever take guitar lessons?
Nope.
So you play by ear?
I play by ear. I don't read music. I never really gave a shit about music theory or whatever. I don't read music. I can't play sheet music. You know, if you put a sheet in front of me with a simple song on it, I wouldn't know what it is. It's all Chinese to me. You know.
Nice. Well, that was racist.
I play by ear. Yeah. It's my hobby. I play by ear everything. You know, when I want to learn a piece, I just listen to it over and over again until I can memorize it, and then I'll learn it, and that's it.
Excellent. So where can we get your music or information about your live shows? Do you have a Facebook?
Yeah, I got a fan site on Facebook, and I got a website, pjdiatri.com, and you can get my music pretty much everywhere, like Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you go.
How about YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I got a great YouTube channel. I'm posting videos regularly, and yeah, if you find me on YouTube, you pretty much find everything there is to find about me.
Are there any videos that you would recommend somebody actually look up that is you playing on YouTube? Not someone else, but you.
Yeah, me. I got a great Bach video, my music video, which is my pride and joy so far. It's a great song and a great video. I'm doing more and more videos as time goes by. I'm working on other stuff, and yeah, just check out my channel. I think you'll find a lot of videos where I'm playing and doing my thing.
Nice. So, what kind of food do you like to eat?
I love pizza, I love schnitzel, and I love hamburgers, I love fries, I love chicken, I love chicken wings, I love onion rings, and I love prosciutto. And I really love sweets, all kinds of sweet, like donuts and jam. I really love to eat ice cream.
So, are these things that you can actually find in Austria or only here in the States? Because I don't think those are things they have in Austria. I'm pretty sure they only have goat meat and rotten cabbage. You know, maple top. PJ, why don't you show them the back of the guitar? Enough with your hands. Look at that. It's an antique ash body, neck through, maple. Beautiful, beautiful guitar. It's got locking tuners. The headstock matches the flame body. An Arctic purple with creamy colored pickups because he loves cream.
Hi, I'm PJ Diatri and I approve this message. Well, that was good, but I'm gonna do it again.